Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to patch 5.9. We're going to be doing a little bit of a review video and take a look at some of the more major things that we got in this update. And in particular, there was one really standout thing to me, and that is the existence of a particular character trait that has not been explained yet. And no, it's not the Resolute trait or the Rebel trait, which I think is associated with some of the Spider characters, but there is something else quite crazy, actually, that we're going to be covering today in this video, and I'd be interested to get your opinions on the matter of what you think this might be for. So without further ado, let's get things started. And right off the bat, we're going to start by covering some of the really easy stuff, and that's by the new characters that came to the game: Ghost Spider, Magic, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk, and Star-Lord T'Challa. We're not actually going to go through the characters and all that in the kits. We've done that in some of the previous videos. But what's interesting is how many shards they are. So we know that Magic, who is in the Red Star store now and has offers available, she is a 100 shard unlock. So yeah, I'm not going to go over my thoughts about Magic. In my opinion, I feel she's a bit of a mixed wild card because she's for a team that's kind of outdated at this point, so I'm not going to go into super detail here on that. Ghost Spider is 100 shards as well. She's probably going to be the second character to come in this patch, so I would expect that within the next 2 weeks. She also has the Rebel tag, so when it comes down to Spider-Punk, she will be available for use in that, but she doesn't have any of the other tags like Resolute or anything. The third character of the patch is going to be Scarlet Spider. Now, he is a 45 shard unlock, so I'm hypothesizing that he might be a strike pass unlock after this this holiday strike pass that's going on right now. It would kind of fit the bill for a 50 shards in one strike pass. So that's kind of my my estimate for now, but we'll see if that changes. Spider-Punk, also an event campaign character, also a 45 shard unlock. So it's kind of nice that we are seeing some 45 shard characters rather than some patches we had just nothing but 100 shard characters. So in the past we had done that. So it's a little bit nice there. Star-Lord T'Challa, he is also a 100 shard unlock, but he seems to be... I don't know if it's like 100 shard characters are just inherently better. I don't think that's the case. Star-Lord T'Challa probably will be some sort of milestone event. My guess is I hope he's not a Blitz. I hope none of these characters are a Blitz, but I am wondering whether or not Ghost Spider will be, because we have a Magic event coming pretty soon, and I don't think there's room for 2 events to be running simultaneously. Typically, events like what's going to be happening for Magic is going to be running at least anywhere from 10 to 14 days, and given the date that it's now, we're already at December the 8th, running towards Christmas. I think that they could probably do a Ghost Spider Blitz, as much as I would really hate that. I think with 5 characters, at least one of these has to be a Blitz. We know it's not Spider-Punk, we know it's not Magic, so really at least Scarlet Spider, Ghost Spider, or T'Challa. I suppose T'Challa could be later, but I'm gonna let's see if I'm right or not. So if Ghost Spider is a Blitz 100, I hope not. But other thing I want to cover in this video is also the costumes. I honestly think that some of the costumes are actually really cool. Where is the filter for that? So costumes here. So some of the new ones that we got to this patch is Spider-Man, the No Way Home costume. Now, there has been clarification on this, that this will be included in the Magic event, and it is not going to be free-to-play accessible. So you are going to be having to spend a little bit of money in order to access this costume. I don't have the details on hand, but this was clarified to me about what that is going to be. It's a little bit unfortunate, but if the cost is not too heavy, perhaps maybe I might spend on this. Maybe, because it's a Web Warriors character also, and I think it actually looks kind of neat. Let me know what you think about this costume, though. So the second costume for this patch is going to be Silver Surfer. I'm just going in the order of my power. I actually think this is a brand new original costume. I think it's actually pretty cool looking. It's totally rad, right? But I find it very interesting because we're at a time where Silver Surfer is kind of being knocked off the shelf, so to speak. You're not using him in a lot of places you used to in the past because of the Eternals, as far as a Mystic character goes, but it goes without saying that this costume does look really cool. So if you're still using, if you had already built up Silver Surfer, for example, I think this is pretty cool as well. Let me know what you think about that costume. There's one costume in particular I really, really like, and it's the Baron Zemo costume. We took a look at this on my live stream, the Winter Regent. This is also a Marvel Strike Force exclusive because I had not seen this anywhere else. It's Baron Zemo with kind of like a wintry garb with a cool cloak, and he's got a crown. And honestly, I think this is really, really, really cool looking. if this does not cost too much money to buy, I might actually get this, because not only is my Baron Zemo really high powered, I actually really like Baron Zemo as a character, and this is a really exciting costume for me personally. I think this is one of the best ones of this patch. I usually don't get too excited about costumes, but I actually really like this. So let me know if you guys also like this Winter Region Zemo costume. I think it's really cool. Now, finally, we have an update to the Hawk guy, and I want to talk about that as well. But there was, I thought there was one. Oh, the winter costume for that one. This is free to play accessible, so we're all getting this one. This is in the Strike Pass. It looks fine, but it's you know, for Groot, and we don't really use Groot, so it is what it is there. But I do want to talk about the Hawkeye update, just very briefly, because now, I honestly spent so long looking at this. So you can get the hearing aid for the Hawkeye costume. This is in reference to, I think, the hearing aid specifically, because I've been watching the Hawkeye TV show, and if you look very closely, like I had to like go all the way in here to see that there was like a purple hearing aid around his ear, and honestly it was really hard to tell. You know, it took me forever to actually see it, and yeah, it's not very noticeable, but they did it. And I don't know how many people actually got this costume, because in order to get the Hawkeye costume, you would have to sacrifice Icarus shards, which I did not recommend whatsoever. So let me know if any of you picked up the Hawkeye costume and you're happy with your hearing aid, I guess. But what we're also really here to talk about is this tag here, the Nowhere Heist. There's other tags in this event for Rebels and Resolute. We're not really going to be talking about this because I want to zoom in on this one in particular. Now, this one is the Nowhere Heist trait, which includes 5 particular characters that you can see in front of me. That includes Doc Ock, Ebony Maw, Kitty Pryde, Rocket Raccoon, and Star-Lord. What do these characters have in common? Well, Rocket and Star-Lord have a connection there, and actually Kitty Pryde in the comics was known to have dated Star-Lord. So there's a little bit of a connection here, you know, but not a crazy amount. Ebony Maw, I have no idea. I guess this is related to the Black Order in the MCU, and possibly in the comics there was a connection to Nowhere, which is a place in the Marvel Universe. Doc Ock, I have absolutely no idea. What is this? What are these 5 characters for? What is this trait for? We have zero clue what this could be. But this could be alluding to a future event. I was thinking, with only 5 characters though, this is the confusing part. Because typically if there is a wider, you know, event, it usually has a lot more characters, anywhere from 15 to 20 characters like you would in a campaign event or a milestone event with special limited time traits. This one, on the other hand, has 5 characters, including 3 legendaries. Doc Ock and Ebony Maw just came around in November, so this is a bit concerning to me in terms of what this means overall, in terms of what are we going to be doing with this. Star-Lord is a permanently available legendary event that you can do on your own time, at your own leisure, and whatever. But Doc Ock and Ebony Maw is not. So hypothetically, even if this event was not in December and it was in January, I don't see the Doc Ock and Ebony Maw event coming around before this took place. So it's a bit concerning on that level. It also could be that, yeah, I don't want to have to gear Rocket and Star-Lord for an event because they suck right now. So that's another part. The only really usable characters are these 3 here, and some people might not even have them. So as far as a, you know, new player event versus a veteran player event, this is a bit of a tough one for me. So there is an event that happened in April that I was kind of thinking this could be like. And this is like the winter, it could be like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier event that happened in April. I'm not sure if you guys are too familiar with this event, so I'm actually going to share with you a little bit of stuff from one of my previous videos on this to maybe help jog your memory if you were around for that, in terms of what this could be. Now, I'm not sure if it will be, but it could be. Okay, so this is my Falcon and the Winter Soldier event that I did way back in April. So this was an event that required specific characters, 4 specific characters: Captain America, Winter Soldier, Falcon, and Baron Zemo. And you can actually see the front cover here. It was called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was available for like 10 or 12 days or something like that. But the main portion of the event included 3 campaign nodes, 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3, where you had to use these 4 characters at a different power level. It depended on what your gear tier was, what your ISOs were, I think, as well with them, and how many stars you actually had for them as well. But they gave a variety of rewards rewards, which included purple gear, orange gear, armory orbs, and even T4s. But it had an energy-based system, but it wasn't the same as regular standard campaign energy. This was refreshed at a very long cooldown. I think it was like 1 level every 6 hours. I don't remember. You know, don't quote me there. I have this muted because I don't want to hear my voice twice, but it contained a variety. You can see the rewards here. They looked a little bit different than Armory 14, Armory 15, T4s, Ions, these kind of things. And you would basically just do it once and you would get a whole slew of different rewards, and this refreshed daily. Now, in terms of what you actually had to do, like I said, you had to use these 4 characters in order to clear the event at 3 stars so that you could auto-farm it. But it was a very interesting event. But if you actually go, and you could see, just 1 level would give you all of this. 1 completion would give you all of this, or a chance for some of the stuff, Armory 14 and 15 orbs, and so on. So it was actually pretty decent as far as events go. But what I want to kind of zoom in, and you could refresh this with a lot of power cores. So here, 90 heroic duo energy for 250 power cores. So you couldn't spam this, and it was far more expensive than standard campaign energy, but it was possible. In terms of the event, though, it also did have a milestone called Honor the Shield, and this was in relation to the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, and that's when it came out, in case you guys don't remember. But you got a variety of different points for the milestone, depending on what, using the featured characters, but also if they were like 5-star or higher, gear tier 13 or higher, and other ways to bump up the points. You could see you win or lose with 5-star or higher, gear tier 13. So you didn't have to have them, at 5. These were just additional points added on to, war wins and blitzing and all that. In this case, it was specifically blitz or war. So could this event be something similar of these Nowhere Heist characters? It could be. It could be something like this, and it would be definitely something unique, because this was a very unique thing that they did in the game back in April. It could happen again. Is it likely? I don't know. But what concerns me the most about these characters is, again, the combination of characters in this regard, because it's Star-Lord, because it's Rocket, because it includes 2 legendaries that have already passed, and so if this event comes and takes place, there's no chance to get these characters probably by that point. So I'm very confused. I hope that we hear more about this on Friday. I would love to know what your guys' thoughts on it. Are you guys ready with all these 5 characters built up? Do you want a green 5 ISO Rocket and Star-Lord potentially, or whatever you have to do? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. So that's just a very quick review of what happened in patch 5.9. There's obviously more to come, including further details about the magic event, the campaign event of sorry, I said it again. Spider-Punk in the future, and of course what it means for the other traits in relation to events. So all that and more in the days ahead, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.